Welcome to the 5th installment of my contribution to the 2nd annual Porsche group build hosted by Chuck's Hobby Spot, BG's Model Workshop, the Luca C channel, Blue Ox Model Shop, and oh yeah, that podcast thing. If you're just joining in, I'm taking this Revell Porsche 914/6 2-in-1 and turning it into a terrifying wheel stander. Last time I showed some file bashed wheels and tires I 3D printed and explained why I needed to scratch build a chassis for this project. But if you were really paying attention, I concluded the last installment stating that this thing has a party trick up its sleeve. So let's get the lead out and figure out how to make it do wheel stander things. So here we have an engine that I plan to use, and this one has been modified. I've cut the end plates off since one side was molded in, which is kind of strange. It needs to be cleaned up, but that will allow the scoop to be in the correct orientation, because air goes in this way, belts on this way for wheel stander action. One of the things I liked about this engine is it's hollow, which is going to play into allowing it to do wheel stand things. So here's kind of what I have in mind. So here I have my trusty little scale thingy, and if I put all of the engine parts on the scale, they come to 19 grams. So that's well and good, but in order to do wheel stand things, I'm gonna have to modify. And I got these Ozark Trail 60-pack round split shot size BB. And as you can see, they're kind of BB-like actually they're kind of Pac-Man-like. And I guess they're lead. Hopefully they don't poison me. But if you notice, there's 60 in the bag, and I think there's only about 14 left. So when I put them inside my mock-up engine, you can kind of see them. They're hiding in there, hiding in the supercharger, hiding within the block. My engine now becomes 39, almost 38 grams. And I think I could probably get a couple more in. So that's going to help it do wheel stand things. So here is the 914 wheel stander in mostly mocked up condition. In order for it to do a wheel stand and stay up without my fingers, we're gonna have to do something back here and add some weight. So I got this 7-pack egg sinkers, also Ozark Trail from the Walmarts. And that's what these things kind of look like. If you're into fishing, you're aware. They look like little Easter eggs. Do not eat these. They're lead. And so they sort of fit back in there. So let's start with 2. And so does it do wheel stander things? It's getting there. I can feel it getting light. Let's add another one. Just kind of stick it right there. So you're gonna do wheel stander things? Oh, yes. It is doing wheel stander things. 3 eggs. So you can kind of see, yeah, we don't want just these eggs back in this area. So we're gonna have to do something about that. So the one thing about these is they're very soft, and you can kind of work them into a shape like this. And how did I do that? I just whacked it with a hammer a few times, and now I'm kind of just getting it to fit, as you can see, into that space. So I think if I can get this one in a little bit tighter and have another one here, and then maybe get some in here, and then either cover it with evergreen or smooth Bondo, I don't know, probably evergreen, and see if I can fill all of this area back here with little Easter eggs. So now we're out in the garage on my wonderful garage floor. We have this lead. Like I said, we've been working this one to fit in there, and you wonder how that happens. It's pretty simple, actually. You just kind of do that. Take the hammer, and you try not to whack your finger. Still got the dash in. And this is just test fit over and over and over. It is oddly satisfying. It gets hot when you hit it. Getting pretty close. I think I want one to go about in the middle here. So we're gonna have to like beat it into a hot dog instead of an egg. Like that one. Remember, I gotta leave room for the supercharger. Bottom crank pulley thingy. That's important. And which side does these go on? I don't remember. And I think what I'm gonna wind up doing is, of course, I'm gonna have to refine these shapes quite a bit, but just kind of trying to rough them in, which they're somewhat close. Maybe that one needs a little bit more whacking. I mean, after a few minutes, that's not too bad. And it's certainly getting heavy. After beating lead for 2.5 hours, maybe not that long, we have these pieces, and I've kind of shaped them. I had to cut this one due to the blower belt that would be in here. So what we're trying to do here is get this stuff to fit as tight as possible and still have the tail lights, the back of the tail lights, be visible. So that's going to be kind of a trick. And then I got to come up with a way to hide all of this ugly that's going to, you know, hang out in here. Something like that. And then maybe we'll use this piece if we need to. But I came up with an idea. We had the frunk. No, it's not a frunk. It's not a trunk. Is it a hood? I don't know. It's the piece that goes back here to cover the engine, which we're obviously not going to be able to do. So I think what I'm going to do is just kind of use this to cut some of it off. Kind of added some little marks back here that, then let's get the saw out. So after another eternity of filing lead, this is what we've come up with. Hard to see. But yeah, it looks like a whole bunch of lead crammed in the back of this body. And from the top, with the little piece of the frunk, we even cut out the spot where the blower belt will fit. And I think what I'm going to just do next is get my Bondo combi spot putty and just slather it in there, fill it all up. You don't really see this in the finished car because of the wheels and the engine and all like that. So as long as I can get it smooth, I think I could probably make some filler panels, even some thin aluminum to cover up things to make this look like it has a purpose other than hiding lead. So that's what we got. So let's slather on some Bondo. Okay, we have slathered some Bondo back in here. That looks great. It will need to be sanded and reapplied and whatnot, but I think it's gonna be okay in the end. This is something I think is very interesting. That the body balances right on the center line of the rear axle. Whether or not that's actually going to make it wheelie better, probably not, because it's going to have a full chassis and engine, but it's kind of an interesting thing. Now it's time to sand Bondo, sand Bondo, sand Bondo, but now it does wheel stander things all by itself, and that's a pretty cool party trick. In doing so, this model now weighs 142 grams, which equals 1/4 pounder from Mickey D's. Now I'm hungry, so this is a good stopping point. This one has moved on to the prime sand stage, so I might just wait until a final reveal, hopefully before the deadline. I've got a wild paint job planned and a couple more party tricks, so be sure to like, comment, subscribe. You know what to do, because I have all kinds of model car stories to tell. Thanks for watching.